Hello everybody, it's Les. We're getting a bunch of new numbers from the IRS in regards to 2026 IRA contribution limits and also the same for 401ks. And it's probably not too early to start planning for 2026. I know during the holiday period some of us have some extra time to kind of compile things for the year-end numbers and start to prepare for next year. So I wanted to share these numbers with you now, just so you'll have them in your head and we can be thinking about how to implement next year. I'll start with IRAs. The new base IRA contribution amount for 2026 is $7,500, and I think that's up from $7,000 last year. The catch-up contribution this year is going to be $1,100, and that's for anybody age 50 plus. So if you're over the age of 50, your total IRA contribution can be $8,600 or up to $8,600. So that's a pretty good amount. In terms of how we go about, is that going to be pre-tax, traditional, Roth IRA, backdoor Roth IRA? We will chat with each of you about your individual situation to make sure that we strategize correctly on your IRA contributions for next year. Now I'm going to move to new 401k limits that have recently come out in the past couple of weeks. So the new base 401k contribution, if you're making notes, I want to make sure I'm clear here. The base contribution that everybody can do is $24,500 for 2026. If you are over the age of 50, you can do a catch-up contribution. Most of you have heard that term, of an additional $8,000. And so if you're 50 plus, your total contribution can be $32,500. Now, there is a new or newer piece to this, which is called the super catch-up. If you happen to be ages 60 to 63 starting next year, instead of the $8,000 catch-up, you can do $11,250. Okay, and that gives you a total contribution of $35,750. So if you're over the age of 50 but you're not yet 60, it's $32,500. And then if you're between ages 60 and 63, and I know those ages are weird, but that's what the IRS gave us, you can put in up to $35,750. And I get the question, well, Les, what if I'm 64? Actually, you drop back down to the $32,500. So pretty interesting way they're doing it. So I say if you're between 60 and 63 and cash flow can afford it, maxing out at that highest dollar amount would certainly be appealing for our retirement planning purposes. And of course, with any of these things, as we discuss in this video, please just give us a shout and we can discuss those one-on-one. Now, there's a new wrinkle this year for the catch-up contributions for that component. If your income is over $150,000 in 2026, the catch-up contribution, whether it's the $8,000 or the $11,250, that has to go into the Roth 401k side of your 401k plan. Now, many of you, and everybody's different, are doing pre-tax contributions. So you can continue to do pre-tax contributions up to the $24,000, right, next year. But if you're going to do the catch-up component, the $8,000 or the $11,250, that has to go into the Roth side of things. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to do this video is that's not going to happen automatically with your employer. I have found in the last few weeks, you're starting to get emails from your companies and kind of making the same announcement. But in most cases, it's requiring you to go log into your 401k plan and actually tell the plan that you want your catch-up contributions to go to the Roth side of your 401k. You can start doing that now in preparation for 2026. I'm thinking, hey, same thing, if we've got some time during the holidays and have time to address this, please do so that things go smoothly next year. So this is an example of, quite honestly, the government's wanting to get some tax money, tax revenue now versus in the future. However, the Roth money that goes in, the advantage to that is that long-term, that'll be tax-free when we take those funds out, and that's very appealing. In retirement planning, you've heard me say this before in other videos, we like to have different buckets of assets to pull from once we actually retire. We like to have taxable brokerage accounts, probably have some pre-tax 401k and IRA type of money, and then we also like to have a bucket of money on the Roth side, whether that's Roth 401k or Roth IRA. So this will actually help facilitate that if you are in fact making catch-up contributions next year. So that's an important change. It's new, it's different. If you have any questions, or if you get an email from your employer, you can't quite figure it out, we're glad to help you there. And then lastly, I'll remind you of the video I did last month about our new capability to help manage your 401k assets, just like any other account here at Raymond James. I had referenced the new software platform is called Pantera, and this has been wildly popular since we made the announcement that we have this capability. Just a few quick reminders of some of the benefits, and if we decide to move in that direction, we could do a custom asset allocation in your 401k plan. Many of you have by default, you have the target date funds that are based off of an anticipated retirement age. Jason did a video a few weeks ago about target date funds that I would encourage all of you to watch. We feel like that if we can customize the asset allocation in the 401k, we can get better results over time, certainly more flexibility. We think that's very appealing for your financial planning purposes. Another thing that I actually didn't mention in the last Pantera video is that private investments versus public equities and public fixed income. Private investments are going to start to make their way into 401k plans starting in 2026. These are definitely more complicated. There can be some benefits to using those, but as those get added to plans, we can also chime in. We're very familiar with private investments and how that might factor into your investment mix in the 401k. Once we set up Pantera, that 401k plan is now visible as an account in your YellowWood client portal, just like your other Raymond James accounts. So you can kind of help see everything in one place a little more easily. And then lastly, and selfishly for us, it allows us to do a better job when we can see all of your assets in one place. We see how each account is invested, and then we can build the overall models incorporating that 401k more easily. So that's another advantage. And then when we get to retirement income planning, we're starting to take distributions. That's another added benefit too, in terms of being able to see everything in one place. So that's just a reminder for that. As always, if any questions, concerns, please give us a buzz. We'll be glad to help out with your individual situation. Hope everybody will have a great holiday season, and let's gear up for 2026. Thanks a bunch.